Hello everyone! Welcome to the video How to Lead an Inspired Life. At the beginning of this video, let's breathe in deeply. Hold in that breath all the fears, doubts, worries or your memories, and then release them with a sigh. And we are giving it to the unconditional love to transform it. So we can say, thank you, unconditional love, for transmuting all of those memories, worries and fears from my subconscious, and I love you. I'm sorry and please forgive me for anything in me that is not pure love from the beginning of creation till now. And then you can just smile and enjoy this video, and I hope your day and your moments. So, how to lead an inspired life? I read a sentence a few days ago, and it says like this. It's like, if you want to be happy, you have to make peace with your past, you have to love your present moment, and to be excited, really excited about your future. And I agree 100%. It is like that, you know. And the one part that is almost always hard for us humans on this planet is that first one, to make peace with the past. I don't know what's the reason, but we live by those rules that are not right for living. You know, I'm sure that you are almost 100% conscious of it, that we live by the rules which are limiting. We come to this planet and we are born and we are like a child and we are happy and we play every day. And then we learn these rules like study mathematics, study the language, this is the most important, you don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Every day. And each day our child is like, who is happy and hugging the world and loving the world and being sincere at all times and sincerely expresses, plays. The child is always joyful and hugging everybody, and then and also when the child is sad, it cries. When it is angry, it expresses that anger, and a few minutes after that it is all right. And the child always wants to play and to be joyful, and the child is always in the present moment. But when we learn those rules, the child becomes like us, you know, like an adult. And after that, we succeeded to learn the child how to be unhappy and to be like us. And probably you learned those rules. And nobody is to blame, you know, at least with my spiritual practice, there is nobody to blame in the universe. You are not to blame, and everybody else. Everybody in this universe works the best as he or she can, you know, or it, you know, never mind what the, gender is, but everybody works the best in the situation with everything that, contributes to the situation. It's very important to accept this sentence that everybody does their best, because this is the first step to make peace with the past, so we can forgive. So we can forgive ourselves, so we can forgive our parents or everybody else who we met in our world, in our life. That's the only way. If we can forgive ourselves and the others, that is the way, as Louise Hay said, the way to unconditional love is through the door of forgiveness. So, number one, to make peace with the past, we have to forgive, to learn to forgive. That's how you make peace with the past. So, do you forgive easily? Do you forgive easily? Do you forgive yourself? Do you accept yourself? Do you hug yourself? Do you love yourself even when you don't do something 100% perfectly? Or you are always like, I have to do it better, it's not good enough, let's do it again. That's the most important thing in making peace with the past, to learn to forgive. And the way how would I suggest you to do it is you can always try with meditations of forgiveness, but if it's very hard for you, for example, it's very hard to forgive to some person who really hurt you, whenever in the past. Start with little things. Maybe somebody, yesterday somebody told you something that offended you. Let's try to forgive that one sentence and not whole life at the beginning. And as you do it more oftenly, more consciously, you will understand that it gives you freedom and you feel better when you forgive. It's not so important how other people behave or how they behaved in the past, but your freedom is here. When you forgive, you become free. You become free. And the past stops replaying in every moment. Maybe there is a Buddha's sentence. He said, when you are angry with somebody, or when you it's like holding the poison inside of ourselves and hoping for other person to die. But the poison is in us. I was not easy to forgive earlier, and today I forgive instantly. It's very easy for me because I know it's good for me and everybody else to forgive. So I can have heart which is light as a feather. That's really great place to be. That's how you attain inner peace. How to make peace with your past. So there is forgiveness, and there is also, I would like to. It's a little subtle differences, like releasing of the stuck energy, and it is almost the same as forgiveness. But I would like to say, maybe there are some little differences. Or this is just another point of the view, For example, you can try some meditations. I would recommend David Elliott. This is American healer, which is, great healer. He makes meditations with deep pranayama breathing, and they are like, it is done like this. And you do it like for 20 or 30 minutes, and people almost always don't know what is in them. But when you do like this kind of breathing, everything that is stuck, sometimes, when you were a child, maybe somebody told you, don't cry, don't smile, don't do this, don't do that. And that life energy which was in you, it was like stuck. It stayed stuck in us. And maybe you didn't express it, and it is maybe now causing some pain in your body or something like that, or just situations to replay in your life. And when you do this, you just have the chance to release that stuck energy from past experience and a lot of maybe situations which are replayed after that, and which you were probably not conscious of. That's why it says it is stuck in subconscious mind. It is below the intellectual level, and we are not conscious of it, but it is in us. And those subconscious stuff really create a lot of our experiences, almost all of them. So this is the forgiveness. This is the releasing of the energy, and my idea of that is you should try those meditations. Soon I will publish a inner child meditation on this channel in English. It will be probably it is the most important relationship in creation with the inner child. That is the part of us that needs healing. So I told you one idea, but there are also my meditations, and there will be in English really soon. So this is the making peace with the past. And also I would say, just go to the nature. Nature has a harmony, and it can help you to become peaceful even when you are not so conscious of it. So these are 3 ideas: forgiveness, releasing of the energy through some meditations, and spending time in nature. And when you make peace with the past, there is the other part. Love your present moments. If you don't start loving your present moments, if you don't open your heart like a child, which, when we are kids, we just go through our life like this, open-hearted. We live with our lungs full of air, of the life force, of the life energy. We love our experiences. When we don't love our experiences, we close our heart. But now we are more conscious of it. We make peace with the past, and now, not to make the experiences to appear again, we have to change our perceptions and to just say, I love you, to our moments. I would suggest, if you want to love your moments, this is the practice of unconditional love. And for me, it is the Ho'oponopono, the spiritual Hawaiian practice, really, really wonderful. It is wonderful, but it's not so easy. It is easy and hard at the same time. Because why is it hard? Because it says we are 100% responsible for every situation in our life. For every circumstance, for everything that appears in our life, I am responsible, So if something nice happens, I am responsible, and if something bad happens, I am responsible. And what does responsibility means? Response-able. Responsibility. Response-able. Able to respond. But for me it means I am now able to respond in a perfect way, or in a great way, or in a good way. I am able to respond good in every situation in my life, because I am 100% responsible, so I am 100% response-able to respond great in every situation. But it's not so easy, because the great response is unconditional love. And that is not so easy to achieve on this planet, but it is miraculous. And also, why is it easy? Because when you accept 100% responsibility, you become totally free. You become totally free. You don't need to wait for everybody, for the world to change, for people to change. You attain your inner peace. You start loving your moments. You can be at the Hugh Len, the teacher of Ho'oponopono, said, you can experience heaven even if all around you are making havoc. And that is also my experience. When I'm 100% in my thoughts of unconditional love, there can be, storm around me, and I am like, thank you, I love you. This is the perfect moment, and it will change whenever it wants to change, but I am at peace. I am in my little heaven, which is not so little. Okay, so I would suggest, because we have to change, it is not so just a stuff that you change in the moment. It's like, okay, I will now love all my moments. It's not so, maybe for you, but it's almost always not so easy. It's a practice. which I will continue doing till the end of my life, I am sure. And it is miraculous. It really brings a lot of divine miracles in my life and a lot of people who I know. And there is also the third part. You have to be excited about your future. When you change perception of your life, when you understand that in the past, you created your past by unconscious living. So if I change the things I did, the things I thought, maybe I can change my life. And then some vision comes, probably. You know, it was like, for me, it was like that. It was, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, I was a computer programmer and a mathematics professor. But I was really unhappy. I was really unhappy and I felt like I'm dying in my office with a computer, you know. I was not happy. I thought it's like my days are... I just don't spend my days how I should. I felt my life was like passing by and I'm not enjoying it. And then I started learning about, reading self-help books and something like that. Watching some videos, a lot of other stuff. But then I started to experience stuff on my own. I started meditating. I started to experience, to awake my senses. Before, I was like only logical guy. I wanted to explain everything. I knew everything. I could solve everybody's problems, but not mine. And the great thing happened when I realized that I don't know nothing. As the great Socrates said, I know nothing. That's immortal. But I can love. I can trust. That's the great place to begin. I know that I know nothing. But I can love. I can trust because I am love. That's great. If I know that I'm love and I'm not just this body. And really I had some kind of a vision, like, okay, it started like this because I'm not so, at that moment, not so spiritually talented, I started to meditate. I just would close my eyes and there was dark. It's just, everything is black. And I was like, it's not working for me. But they say, for example, just imagine you as happy. What would you do if you were happy? And I was like, okay, but on my diploma, in my certificate, it says I am a computer programmer or mathematics professor. And I started imagining myself as a successful computer programmer, and I couldn't imagine it. Then, after a few weeks, although I was always saying I will never be a teacher. I started imagining myself as the other thing on the certificate, as a mathematics professor, and I was more joyful when I would imagine that scene. For example, me teaching some people, some students, it was nice for me in my imagination, although I was always saying I will never do that. And then after maybe 2 years or reading self-help books like crazy man, probably like 500 or 600 books, and some tries of meditations, but I really thought it was unsuccessful, but it seems that everything I ever thought became true. And although it was, black, but it worked all the time. I saw, I read in one book, it says, if you want to know what you're passionate about, just look at what kind of, how do you spend your free time in last period of your life? And I was like, at almost all the time when I'm free, I read self-help books, motivation, inspiration, a lot of those stuff. And I was like, when the book said, okay, how would you like to work doing that? And I was like, it would be miraculous. I saw myself at some stages before a lot of people, and I would like speak in my language, in English language, before, I don't know, thousands of people. I would be doing stuff that inspires me and it helps them also. I would be writing books. I would, for example, I would write a book. I saw some, for example, picture. I would write on my laptop computer in some, on some water surface in some ship, and I would like do that, and it brings me and the other people happiness, joy, and love. But in that moment, I saw that picture. It was like, oh, that would be so wonderful. But it's not possible. It doesn't say on my diploma like that, you know. But it became the truth. I quit my job as a mathematics professor a few years ago. It was very nice, but it was not 100%. And for a few years, I would like to call that, probably like spiritual teacher or something like that. I don't know the name for that. I do, but it is wonderful. I do just those stuff I imagined about. For example, yesterday I didn't have a laptop computer at that moment, but in a few years ago, I bought a laptop computer, and yesterday I was at the river in Belgrade, in my city, writing a document, sitting at some, I don't know how I say it. It is a kind of ship on the water surface. I was writing and contributing to myself and other people. And I live freely. I wake up when I want to. I do almost all the same as in that vision or from 7 or 8 years ago. And it's really miraculous. And when I said you have to be excited by your future, it's like, really, let your vision guide you. And I would like to explain that, so because I don't want you to be in the future all the time. It's like, just put your hands on your heart and like, how really I would like to spend my day. If I was totally free, if I traveled the world, I don't know, 15 times, and I have everything, how would I really want to spend my perfect divine day? And then just go through that day. Imagine, how would you like to wake up? What would you do in the morning? Would you spend it with your family or friends? Would you give love to yourself or to your body? Would you drink some, I don't know, smoothie juice or something which is really healthy for you? Would you do some exercises? Would you try, for example, Wim Hof method? Would you try to do some meditation? Or how would you like to spend your day? But, for example, ask yourself a question: how would I live this day if I would like to divine part of me to live this day? How would the divine part of me live this day? And then try to imagine it. How much? What would be the speed of that day for you? Would you do a lot of things more slowly? Would you drink for example, coffee, and then taste that coffee? Or you would run like almost probably all days? How would you spend that day? And that would be your, divine day. And you go to that future, to that perfect divine day, like this. For example, for me, it's like every day I wake up, I place hands on my heart, I do some kind of meditation or prayer, and I say, okay, my heart, what would you like for me to do today? And it's like that. And every day like that. And with every small step, I just ask my heart, what would you like for me to do today, And when I follow my heart every day, I have to come to that vision I saw, lots of years ago. And it would be the same for you. But those are the stuff. We have to make peace with our past. And I told you it is forgiveness, releasing of the energy, spend time in nature. There are a lot of other stuff, but it is the most simple and effective because, you know, simplicity is the sign of the master. Just go with the simple stuff. That would I suggest to you. Number 2 is to love your present moments. I would suggest the spiritual practice of Ho'oponopono or some other kind of unconditional love to you and your moments. Whatever comes to you, try to love it. Try to love it. It's not important to be 100% love in every moment, but we can always try to be 100% love. And every day we grow in love. And the third part, let yourself imagine it like a child. Remember what the child in you wanted when you were a child. And then be excited about that future. Know that you have divine power in yourself. You are a spark of divinity. And you can live your dreams by following your heart every day. It is all for this video. I would like to tell you at the end the sentences or the thoughts of the Ho'oponopono cleaning phrases. It's like, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you, and also I wish you peace beyond all understanding. Bye bye.